From a light beaming from the heavens, the Angel of Time, Mael, has returned, and everybody has questions as he then compliments his comrades, the Supreme Kai of Time and the Hakaishin of Time, and they're asking, where in the world have you been? All this crap has been going on, and now the multiverse entity is in love with the dark multiverse love entity. What do you want? Like, where have you been? And Mael's just disappointed that they didn't get the message. The Supreme Kai was always meant to govern the positive side, because yes, the positive side has issues and people will try to disrupt that. She can make a team of honorable warriors to help protect against something like this from happening. And the Hakaishin was meant to govern the dark side, because the dark side has no understanding, and the Hakaishin would be understanding of that and would destroy them instantly if they ever got out of hand. That was why they had their place. And they look at him and ask, okay, if that's true, what is his purpose? And he's like, do you not get it yet? They're yin and yang. He's the whole table they're on. He is time. He represents all of time and space itself. And currently, there is a lot of fixing to time and space they need. But he was just in a meeting. And when they asked with who, he says he was literally with a meeting with other versions of himself across time. And they were all putting their powers together to fix the time stream. Basically, he was with a version of himself from 3 seconds ago and a version of himself from 40 seconds ago, and so on and so forth. But he was trying to fix the time stream while all this was going on. And right now, he tells them that his powers just ain't enough. There ain't nothing he can do to affect that or whatnot. So the Hakaishin asks, okay, then if you can't fix it, what can they do? Because they can't leave the multiverses like this. And Mael says that he does not know. He has not an inkling of a clue. And he looks at the entities and says that they're just spirits and entities. There's nothing they can really do to help them. Maybe they should just accept their fate. However, Goku steps up and says, no, he did not just go through all that, lose Supergirl, and nearly lose his kids just so that they can just throw their hands up and give up. No. They are not about to give up. I am not about to give up! Goku looks at Mael and tells him that he just said that the spirits were spirit energy, right? Well, couldn't technically spirit energy help them get back to full form, and couldn't they do something about the entities? And Mael asks, what is he questioning? And Zeno says that if him and the other version of himself could reach out into other realities and find a way to connect them all through a ultimate spirit bomb, and instead of using that energy for an attack, send that to the spirits and restore them, and by whatever manner or whatever means, the time trio, the Supreme Kai, the Hakaishin, and the Angel, Mael, could all use their powers together and lock them back up or put them in a place where they won't get destroyed or whatnot like that. And Mael says it's a good idea in theory, but where are they going to find that much energy? And Goku says, look around him. The entire multiverses are messed up. They are connected to everything. Whether you want to be or not, it's random. Up is down, left is right, so on and so forth. So, let's put our energies together and throw our hands up, and they'll make the ultimate spirit bomb. And Mael says that that's not a bad idea. Should they get the Super Dragon Balls to help do it? And the Supreme Kai chimes in and says, no, that can't happen. Okay, to explain this really quickly, it's basically when Zalama created the Super Dragon Balls, they're all connected. So, Super Dragon Balls in one dimension is connected to the other ones, and so if one is destroyed, they're all destroyed. And if you know, this is still the what if the future Goku's universe. Well, that set of Super Dragon Balls was destroyed, and so now all that energy is just radiating out. If they could use the Spirit Bomb, they could possibly repair them and then repair the entities, and then everything could go back to normal, and they could get the normal Dragon Balls and fix everything that way. And Mael says that's a good idea. And the Supreme Kai says that they're going to reach out and put all their energies together and open the door as much as they can. Now, Zeno needs to get ready for the ultimate attack, or the ultimate Spirit Bomb. And he's not even worried that if he can hold it, if he does give his life for this, then he can still be run back with the Dragon Balls if this works. And if not, he'll die anyway. So he throws his hands up and waits for the... Goku lets out a mighty roar as we then see Gohana and Rayo all call out to the other universes and tell them to donate their energy. They need it now more than ever. I know everybody's tired. I know everybody can barely stand and they have almost nothing left to give. But we need it. We need it to save the entire existence they have. And Xenogoku turns Super Saiyan 10 and holds the Spirit Bomb in the air and watches as it gets bigger and bigger. As we see we see various timelines from GT to Z to Young Dragon Ball to Super to beyond that to even some of the Marvel people, even some of the DC, Image, Invincible, other animes, everything like that. They throw their hands up for one final attack, one final move to save everything. They pour everything into this. And Goku powers up even more, and then the Time Patrollers that are there, they also lend energy to Xenogoku, who puffs out his chest, and then the Spirit Bomb's weight begins to get too much on him. He's not sure if he can even hold a Spirit Bomb of that size. He starts trembling and breaking, and he's like, no, we're not giving up here. So his children, Gohana and Rayo, stand there as Goku is on his last limb. They power up to their ultimate transformations and give it everything they got. And they hold the Spirit Bomb with him all the way until Goku gives out and can't hold it anymore, as he recognizes his children are now stronger than him, the strongest in the entire multiverse. And they too still hold the Spirit Bomb and power up to Super Kryptonian God and erupt with even more energy as they get ready. Mael says, it's time, let's do it. As the Supreme Kai, the Hakaishin, and Mael all throw their hands together and take the spirit energy and throw it at the two entities. After the spirit energy connects with the two entities, they begin healing. And then the Mael directs that at the Super Dragon Balls, and it transfers against all the other universes and keeps going and going and going until it finally repairs them. And even from above the worlds that are in, Zarama takes notice of this, the creator of the Dragon Balls, and it's like, So that's just a little Easter egg for what's coming. And then the entities go up into the air, and instead of fighting, the time trio hit them with a nice bright light and sends them down into the Angel of Time, as he is the strongest out of the trio, and breaks them in half. Half of the light goes to the Supreme Kai, and half of it goes to Mael. Half of the darkness goes to Mael, and half of it goes to the Kaishin. And then he begins pushing the worlds apart, but leaving a bubble to still connect them. And then he goes about connecting all the worlds and finally finishing up this. As Rayo, Gohana, and everything, they're so tired. And now we look finally back in at what was once destroyed. We go back to the Time Nest. Xenogoku stands at the Time Nest and holds his hands out and summons the powerful Porunga with the Namekian Dragon Balls of the, Time Nest place. Because, each universe, each version of Universe 7 has its own Porunga in some way, shape, or form. And he summons Porunga and wishes for his wife to come back, Supergirl. She is finally brought back from the grave, and as everyone from Gohan and Rayo all hug in on her, Xeno, Goku, and Supergirl kiss. As we then see the Time Nest and Time Patroller Station, Conton City, is put all back together. Everything's repaired. And then we see that the other universes are repaired as well. As to where Mael and the Hakaishin of Time went, well, that's a mystery. But Xeno Goku looks at Supergirl and says that he's already had the greatest fight of his life. And in that fight, he had lost something more valuable than fighting: his wife, Supergirl. He doesn't want to retire, but he wants to become part-timers. He wants to move out. He wants to go to another universe where they can have a peaceful life. And if the Time Nest ever needs them again, they can always summon them. He then looks at Gohan and Rayo and asks if they would be okay with this. The kids nod and tell them that they're going to stay full Time Patrollers, but their mom and dad have earned it. They deserve to rest. And Gohana nods at her father as Rayo crosses his arm and smiles as the Supreme Kai grins. Xeno Goku sits there and smiles as he then turns to Shenron and takes Supergirl's hand and says, "Teleport them to universe A-1111. And then Purunga says that is beyond his power, and the Supreme Kai of Time opens a portal and says, "Teleport them there now." And Purunga sends them there as the Namekian Dragon Balls split up as Goku and Supergirl disappear into the light. As Gohana and Rayo sit there with the main universe Goku, the one who achieved Omni Super Saiyan and was originally one of the ones that helped Xeno Goku. They ask what he's going to do, and he says he doesn't know. He's been thinking about becoming one of these Time Patrollers. Him and his whole family could move here, and that way the Supreme Kai could always keep a team of Time Patrollers on standby. And this way they can have knowledge to new and forbidden things and evolve and learn together. That way no more multiversal crises can happen again. And the Supreme Kai says that'd be a lovely idea. And Rayo and Gohana question how she's going to do that. The Supreme Kai says that most every Time Patroller here is either someone that was born here or from a timeline and chose to make the right path. She will let Goku and his family and friends come to here and become her new Time Patroller squad. However, they will need training, especially that version of Vegeta and Gohan. They're going to need to be able to catch up to Goku. And main Goku chuckles. And then Gohana and Rayo leave the Time Nest and head out to Conton City, overlooking the peace they protected. Rayo and Gohana share a moment of clarity as the war's finally over and things are getting back to normal. And then Rayo looks down at the ground and says, what's she planning on doing? I mean, their parents have retired officially, and they've moved off to that one universe. Where's she gonna go? And she says she's gonna do what she's always done. She's gonna kick butt and stay here in Conton City. She's gonna protect the time stream. She's gonna be herself. A true, natural-born warrior. And Rayo leans back and says it's crazy to think this all started over a race debacle between her and him. It's still crazy to think that one watch that he had all that kind of power in it and that one transformation. And she said it's best not to think about it. Rayo says, well, it is good to think about it. If there's someone like that powerful out there in some random watch, it pains him to think of what other powerful entities could be out there in the known or unknown multiverse. And she says that he's getting at something. What is it? And Rayo says that he's been interested in this role for a while, but he's not ever talked about it. He wants to become an emissary of destruction. Not a god of destruction, although it is very similar. An emissary of destruction. He wants to take the title of God of Destruction multiversal. Instead of governmenting them, he will use the time ring and judge them and see if they'll become a force of evil or whatnot. And if they will, he'll warn them to change their ways and then use the time ring again. And if they will ultimately become evil, he'll try to show them a better way, but if not, he'll destroy them. And she says that he needs to be careful with that kind of questioning. Maybe he should have a council behind him. And he says he's planning on it. He wants her and the Supreme Kai to be his guides. But first he needs to go get ready to become a emissary of destruction. And she asks, is this really what he wants to do? And he nods. This is what he wants to do. The two siblings take part in one final hug, and then the Supreme Kai comes out, and after telling her the news, she agrees to it, but he can only destroy a universe after she herself also examines it. And he nods. She then gives him the Emissary of Destruction title and the clothing for it, and he then nods at his sister and tells her that he'll be seeing her around. He won't forget to visit. He still wants to see who's the better Super Kryptonian god and what other evolutions they got. And Kohana smirks. As he then leaves to the worlds beyond, Kohana sits there and looks at some of the other new recruits and tells the Supreme Kai that she can whip them into shape. And this is where we close on What If Goku and Supergirl had children together.